Hello, everyone. It's James Strong. This is the sub-project for the Ingress NGINX project. This means it is a CNCF project, and we adhere to the code of conduct, which means be awesome to each other. If there are any issues, please report those to myself or the SIG networking team lead. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started and jump into the fun. I've got a couple new folks. Mohab and Victor, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Mohab. I'm from Egypt. I didn't contribute much to Kubernetes, but I'm looking forward to. So I'm just, trying to experience things. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for joining. Victor?
Yeah, I've been participating on some security meetings. First time joining this meeting. Just curious what's going on security wise.
Lots of things. At least we're trying to. I'm gonna skip the triage since I know Ricardo, you're on short time, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about the fun that we've been having for the past couple of weeks. So with V190, we talked about it for actually I went back and I looked. July was the first time we started talking about releasing what we did. In 190. So I did not misspeak when we talked about that. We've been talking about what we were going to do in 190 for a while, which was setting the configuration snippets, allowing configuration snippets to true in 190. That unfortunately did get missed by some folks. We put it in the release notes, and we try to do our best to make sure that everyone is aware of the changes that we're making. We'll take that feedback into consideration with this fun little doc that I'm going to write about how we do releases, what we say, what we mean when what we say some things. So making sure that we're a little bit more crisp and clear on that communication. I don't have anything in here just yet, but I just want to make sure that when we say we're going to do when we say we're going to follow SIMVAR, what it means for us, we know what the letter of the law says, but what the spirit means and what we actually do in practice. So I want to make sure that that's crystal clear when we do a patch, minor, and major version changes, when we and how we go through breaking changes, things like that. So I know that 190 did break some folks. We have a lot of comments in there. But yeah, anything that you wanted to add, Ricardo?
No, not much. I think that's we are kind of in the middle of a lot of things ongoing, and we, at least on my side, we've been trying to make our best to not break folks. But I think that's good to call out that you, me, and all of the other maintainers, we are volunteers, and usually we do that in our spare time. And like myself, I do that on Sundays, and we are open to contributions, but we need people to understand that we are not doing that because we want to break people cluster, but that's because we are actually targeting to have a more secure environment. And sometimes we try, even if we try hard to make everybody aware that some things are breaking or changing, they don't. They got missed. So even if someone want to be our communication release manager or whatever, or help us on the comms, we are open to getting people doing a better job than we've been doing on the communication side as well.
Yeah, I think some of the feedback that I've taken is that, like I said, when we put out a breaking change, I want to follow the cycle of putting out a warn and then putting out a beta release, letting that sit, and then we do the actual change so that it at least bakes for 2 months. And then also the resolution path for when the breaking change does happen, what folks need to do. So that, I mean, we can't stop breaking changes because, again, it was to fix a CVE and to make folks more secure from that perspective, to make the conscious choice to allow configuration snippets and be aware of the security ramifications of allowing those. So I think, yes, we need to do those. Breaking changes will happen, and we just need to be better at communicating them. I'm looking at making sure that when we have those changes, to be able to push those out through all of our communication methods. So that's this community meeting, that is the distribution list that we've got created, that is our Twitter handle, and that is both of the Slack channels. So we have lots of communication mediums to put those out, and we just need to make sure that as maintainers that we're better at making sure that it is known and heard. But we can't stop all of them, and these things will happen, and we'll try to learn from them. So that's I think that's what I want to say about 190. If there's anybody on the call that would like to have the conversation about that, now would be a good time to have that. Okay, let's talk about some more fun in our releases. I started a doc a while back ago. So what I want to do is, with what we've talked about with the 190 things that we've learned, for 2.0, there was a lot of more things that are going to break and change in 2.0 that I don't think we've really discussed and talked about. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
See this?
Yeah.
So we had these top 4 things that we were going to look at. So one of them, again, is the path validation. That's another CVE remediation issue. We're going to flip that, change the true. The control plane data plane split, the architecture change for that. So that will help us put in the planning for 2.0, removing Jaeger and all of the others, and migrating folks to use the open telemetry module. Actually force them to use that. So that will be one of the biggest changes, I think. And then looking into removing or replacing mod security because of the lack of support that's coming from its main support, or continuing to see how that support is going to be picked up from the community. So those are the 4 things. We've already removed AJP support. That was done in 190, or was that done in 182? I can't remember. I saw that it was merged.
Was 190.
190. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the 4 things that we're looking right now for 2.0. And again, I know all of those are still going to need work. I mean, these 3 things need work, right? We don't know what's going to replace mod security, or if anything's going to replace it. Removing it's going to be a little difficult because it is built into our images. I don't even know what the remediation is going to be for Jaeger. So again, putting the plan together for all 4 of these things. I know we still have some things to work out for CPDP, so I didn't know. This was just a collecting ground for what we wanted to look at for V2. Karaza, that's right. You did tell me about that one. So I do want to make sure that we're tracking these. I don't have open issues for this, and I don't know if there's any other changes that we were going to try to make with 2.0. So again, when we talk about the release with the Simver, we very rarely will change the major version. I think we only changed it to 1.0 because of the release for going from VBeta 1 for the Ingress spec to V1. That's why we bumped to 1.0 to signify that major change. So a lot of our changes will be in minor releases. It's very similar to the Kubernetes model, where they'll put out things in alpha, beta, and then put them into GA. I don't know if we need to go to that one. We do have betas releases that we do. We've done a couple of those. So again, I'm thinking, put a warn in a patch, put out a beta release, and then minor patch. So we could probably follow this for all 4 of those changes coming up for 2.0. What are your thoughts on that, Ricardo?
Agree.
Okay. So lay out the plan for changes and then try to work through those with the 2.0.1. Surprisingly, no one yelled about the curl change, but I did notice that it is still in the image, and I'm guessing it's because it's in the NGINX based image, because we use it for the build service to build and download all of the Lua things. So I think that's one of the things that we need to look at, is that the curl's in the base image, and I don't think we strip it out. So it's going to still be in the layer when we build it. So even if we do try to remove it from the controller layer, it's still in the base image. I think that's what the issue is with this curl being still there.
Maybe we install that on the final image. I don't know.
No, I think the PR was to remove it from the final image, but I think it's still in the NGINX base image layer. So I don't know, because removing it from the ingress image doesn't remove it from the base, so it's still there in a layer. And I think scanners are still going to pick it up. So I don't know what we would need to do to either to squash or just move away from curl altogether if we're trying to remove it from our build system. That's my thoughts. I don't know if there's any other thoughts around that one, but I thought that was one that we should talk about. Because again, trying to remove CVs,
I
ingresses.
think that other than that, I keep seeing. So I would like to see at least the other. Oh, we have one for 2.0, which is NGINX version. I don't know if you added that to 125. Did you?
No, we can though. I think we can do that with that. Doesn't have to be a 2.0 release. Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The 2.0 that I would like to, it's to get NJS instead of OpenResty, at least on the majority of places that we can.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one, the CPDP is gonna give you, because I know that we still have the communication between the NGINX pod and the data plane pod. I know there were still issues with that, so I didn't want to add that, add the NJS stuff on top of it. Because I know that's gonna take a while because we have a lot of, I know, oh, a Scandinavian friend, like Brandon, he was mapping out Lua functionality so that we could get the
Yep.
NJS functionality and work with Dylan and the NGINX team so that we can make sure that we have that functionality available for NJS. So I feel like that one's going to be a lot longer putt than the other ones that we have on there. So I don't know if we wanted to wait a whole possible another year for 2.0. So
Yeah.
but I think with we could get 125 out as soon as it's available from the Lua and Open Rusty. I think we release that as soon as possible, and it's a minor version change. So probably in time for like 111 or 112.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of version discussions and not really getting into the issues, unfortunately. This is the regression that you were talking about. Was this? No, this isn't the regression I'm thinking about. Is this the capital? Like,
Yeah.
it's the case issue. This is the case issue one.
Yeah. It is.
Okay.
It's on my list. I need
Oh
to
no,
sort out something. Yeah, I think that I am assigned to this one.
this is the end result of the issue because
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
this one it's on my list, and as I've said, I have something, more important to deal for the next 2 or 3 days. But other than that, I want to get this one fixed on 121, 191. Yeah.
Okay. By that time, we'll probably have a new Go version as well.
Yeah, and a new curl version.
Yeah, but I hope we can get that one. So yeah, get curl out for 191, bump to 1.3.18.3, and also this regression. Those are the top three things I think that we'll need to. I said 110, but we need to start tracking that one. So I need to open up an issue for that so we can track it. That was the other thing that we could probably add is about deprecations. We just start opening issues, open an issue for the discussion, and then we just track that issue there for deprecations. So maybe we could do that as well.
But aren't we already adding those to that breaking change one?
Oh yeah, that's right. We did have the permanent one. It's in.
And and the things they are there.
Yeah, that's the other communication method. Yeah. We need to update this one then. So I'll take the action item to update this. Okay. I'll put that out there as well. Okay. Oh, I've already lost my place. I think that was the majority of things that we needed to talk about. I don't know if we'll get to I don't think this will get there for 110. Because if we keep we can keep it for 110 because we can just keep our cadence and just keep going 191, 192, 3 until we get to this one. I don't know if there's any other. This should be doable by 110 if we have someone to work on it. Would you agree, Ricardo?
Yeah, I think that this one specifically we were waiting for some update from Datadog folks. And by the way, during the middle approach of Datadog and the upstream open telemetry module, NGINX also released their own open telemetry module. So we just need to discuss which one we are going to adopt and tell folks like, hey, we need to move forward with this one, right? But there is also a module from an official one for NGINX. Maybe we should just stick with that one and reduce our compilation time as well, right?
Remove one.
Maybe we should get this subject with Ezan again, as he's our open tracing, open telemetry guru developer, and check his feeling about using Ezan.
Yeah, he's not gonna be in there.
No, and check if he's up to maybe what's his feeling again on using the NGINX one.
Okay. I'll add that as an item to just ping him about it so we can talk about it on our next one. Okay. So I'll write up how we're gonna move forward with our patching and what releases actually mean. And we'll try to follow that we will follow that for 2.0 and for the following ones. I don't think we have any other deprecations that need to go through. Are there any other issues top of mind, Ricardo, that you know about? I've looked at the list. There was one in here, and so the question we have is like, I haven't looked at this one thoroughly, but like there's crashes in 164. And there was another issue with I can't remember. Should have wrote it down. There was another one where it's crashing, but I think it's because of U limits, but I need to go look. I mean, there's also a lot more context here than like something crashed.
Yeah, I can't remember this one as well.
Yeah, this is.
I have on my list also, and I'm finishing. It's the proxy, the TLS pass through, the new approach that I'm working as well. I remember that we have a bunch of issues on that, but yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that one. My concern with this one is like we're now onto 190, and if we're doing n-2, technically we can't support 164. So I was gonna ask ask us to provide more information and to test to see if they have this issue in 190.
Cool.
Okay. If we don't have anything else, I'll probably spend the next half hour just writing out the release doc and try to get that out there. I I don't.
No, I. No, sorry, James. Go for it.
I was just trying to think. I know there was another crash. I can't find it, but I will find it and I'll drop it in the Ingress dev chat. But when I finish up and write up the doc for the release versions, so folks can be aware of how we're moving things forward or how the release cycle works. Yeah. Sorry. I'm coming 2 weeks off of a vacation, so catching up with work and with all of this is always fun. Okay, well, Ricardo, with that, I guess I can let you go and let everyone else go. Victor and Rahab, if you want to join, there is a Ingress dev channel where we talk about a lot of this stuff asynchronously in our channel, and where I'll probably be dropping more information as we work through some of this stuff.
Yeah, that would be great, actually.
Thanks, Ricardo, for your limited time. And we will go ahead, and one last update just for folks is that we're going to move this. I think we decided to move it to 9 a.m. Eastern because Ricardo has a lot of meetings that get bumped up into this one, his team scrum and things like that. So we're going to get the SIG networking lead to move this for us so that we can get him to join and have his full attention, because he's always triple booked for this meeting. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks.